Warning: this video contains scenes of explicit logic and intense information, not suitable for stupid people. Watch at your own risk. Before we start with the episode, I would like to remind you all, if you haven't taken the survey yet, please click down on the link, take the survey before we proceed any further. And please forward this survey, this link, for all your friends if you can. It will be appreciated. The entire series is based on your replies on this survey, so your help will be much appreciated. Thank you very much.
In this episode, things get serious.
Fluffy, you'd like to buy them to buy them.
I scratch my head and my nose.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. I would like to welcome you all back to our series, So You Think You Know Islam. This is episode 0.
Why?
Well, the reason why this episode is episode 0 is because still in this episode we will not discuss your comments or answer your questions.
Why?
I really hate this guy. Anyhow, the reason why I will not be discussing your comments and answering your questions in this episode is because in this episode I would love to discuss few topics, concepts and so on, just to get you ready to follow up the rest of the series. What? You think that we're slow to follow up with you? No, it's not that. It's just to make sure that everyone is on the same page. So, everyone, make sure that you are all on page 14. Once upon a time, I was watching a documentary about children. Don't you just love children?
They're so cute, so beautiful, so innocent, so fluffy. You'd like to buy them, to buy their cheeks, to kiss them, to hug them.
Dude, this is seriously weird. Ah, come on, give me a break. I'm a new father. Still, seriously weird. Anyhow, remember that day when your little daughter, she walked toward the table, she grabbed the table sheet, then she looked at you with full innocence, she smiled, and she walked forward. That was a funny day. Wish if I had my camera. Wish if I didn't put the china on the table. Anyhow, what we were talking about? Yeah. In this documentary about children, don't you just love children? In that documentary, they brought a 4-year-old child. And they did a small experiment. It was very cute, by the way. They showed the child a piggy bank. You know, the thing that you put money in. Something I wish if I'd done a long time ago. They asked him, what's inside the piggy bank? So, from his experience, he said, coins or money, I don't know. So they opened the piggy bank and they showed him that what was inside the piggy bank was marble balls. You know, the little glass balls or marble balls. So they closed the piggy bank again and asked him, what's inside the piggy bank? He said, marble balls. Now they asked him the $1 million question. If we ask your friend Tom, what's inside the piggy bank, what would he say? So he smiled and said, marble balls. They repeated the very same experiment, but this time with a 5-year-old child. They asked him the very same questions. What's inside the piggy bank? Coins. They showed him its marble balls. What's inside the piggy bank? Marble balls. But when they asked him, if we ask your friend Tom, what's inside the piggy bank, what would he answer? He smiled and said, coins. Why am I telling you this? Well, in this documentary they show you that a 4-year-old child, his mental ability doesn't allow him to realize that people have different understanding than his. He thinks that what he knows, other people know. He thinks, since I know that there is marble ball instead of coins in the piggy bank, he can't realize that other people will not understand that he have an exclusive information. But once he hit 5 years old, his mental ability increased, that he started to realize that he actually had his own knowledge. People have their own knowledge. What he knows, not necessarily other people know. Sadly, many people didn't grow out of the 4 years old. They still stuck in the 4-year-old mentality. They didn't hit the 5 years old yet. You can't believe how many times when I discuss with people, and by the way, this is not only about religion, but in many things, but I don't know why when it comes to Islam, it's always like this, or almost always like this. People measure or think that their understanding for certain concepts is the same for everyone else. Since my experience about X is this, so probably it's the same like this with other people. You can't imagine how much misunderstanding happen and wrong conclusion happen. Keep in your mind the 4 years old mentality. We will face this mentality a lot probably in the next episodes. Now let's move to the next topic. Religion. The first concept that I would like to discuss with you, or not to discuss actually, just as I said, to make sure that we are all on the same page. Religion. What does religion mean? Usually, when the word religion comes to the mind, immediately people usually think that a belief system with a superior force, God, gods, or whatever, and a set of rituals and behavior and worships and so on. Well, since this series is called So You Think You Know Islam, you need to understand something. Do you remember when we talked about the 4 years old mentality? Just because people have a certain understanding for something, that doesn't mean other people have the same, and a lot of misunderstanding happen because of that. In Islam, or in Islamic dictionary, the term religion has nothing to do with what usually people have in their mind about religion. In Arabic language, the word that's translated to religion, it's deen. In the origin of Arabic language, the word deen means way or path. In Islam, the meaning of religion has nothing to do with a belief system or not. It is the way of your living. How do you live your life? The set of rules that you live by, the set of rules that you make sense of the world around you. It has nothing to do with belief or not. Whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, it has nothing to do with it. When I ask someone in Greece, what's the religion in Greece, he would immediately say, Christian Orthodox. According to Islamic definition, the religion of Greece is democracy, because this is the way of their living. You don't have, by the way, to go by the Islamic definition. It's just to know what does religion mean when you talk to a Muslim. You don't have to believe that or to adopt that. Define religion as much as whatever you like. But in Islamic terms, religion means the way of living. And according to this definition, even the most atheist person, even the guy who would never believe in God at all, or afterlife or religion or whatever, he still have a religion. He still have a set of rules that he makes sense of the world around him. He have a set of rules that he obeys his God. Whoa, just a minute. A set of rules that he obeys his God? I thought that you were talking about an atheist. I thought we discussed the 4 years old mentality already. Okay, what is God? Usually when the word God pops up, immediately the thing that comes to the mind is a supernatural great power that created the entire universe, that overlooking over the universe, taking care of, and so on. Not necessarily. In Islam, God is the thing that you obey the most. God is the thing that you put your hope upon. God is your goal, the thing that you put the laws for you. For example, in the Quran, God says in Surah Al-Furqan, chapter 25, verse 43, and also in Surah Al-Jathiyah, chapter 45, verse 23. Have you seen the one who chose his desire to be his God? Everybody agrees that desire is not this supernatural thing that created the universe and watching over it. Yeah, but here God is describing the desire as a God. That some person chose their desires to be their God. Why? Because their desires is the thing that dictate on them what to do in their life. According to this, everyone has something that he gets his set of rules from. Everyone has something that he places his hope upon, that he places his trust on, that he thinks this is the thing that I should aim for. Some people, their God is money. Some people, their God is the society, their tribe, their family. Some people, their God is power. Like that maniac in Syria. He doesn't have any problem eradicating his people because he wants to obey his power. He wants to keep his power. He thinks this is the thing that I have to fight for, to kill for and die for. You don't have to adopt this definition of God. But this is how God is portrayed in Islam. It's the thing that you put all your hope upon, you put all your trust on, that you get all, that tells you how to run your life, how to have your religion. It's the thing that you worship. Which brings us to the next topic, worship. Our next topic is worship. Usually when the word worship pops up, it comes to people's mind a set of action, of rituals, of behavior that a person do, a believer person do, a religious person do, in order to please his God or to obey his God. To a certain degree, yes, that's true, but in Islam it's much bigger than that, the meaning of worship. Sadly, even some Muslims confuse worship, they look to worship with the small, narrow meaning. You know, go to the mosque, pray 5 times every day, fast in Ramadan month, or to give charity, and that's it. Actually, worship is far greater than that. Worship is your entire life. Worship is obedience. Worship is to follow the orders, to do what God ordered you, and not to do what He ordered you not to do. Obedience. When Uday ibn Hatim al-Ta'i, and Uday is the son of Hatim al-Ta'i, usually any Arabic person, whether he's a Muslim or not, usually knows who's Hatim al-Ta'i. One of the most generous people in Arab history before Islam. He didn't catch up the Prophet time, but his son Uday and his daughter, they catched up the time of the Prophet. Both embraced Islam. Uday, before he embraced Islam, he embraced Christianity. He was Christian. So when he went to meet the Prophet for the first time, he entered to the Prophet while the Prophet was reading a verse from the Quran. That verse was talking about the Jews and the Christians. And God said in that verse, اتخذوا أحبارهم ورهبانهم أربابا من دون الله. They, the Jews and the Christians, they chose their rabbis and their priests as gods instead of Allah. When Uday heard the Prophet saying that, he said, reciting that verse, he said, "O Prophet of God, but we didn't worship them." The Prophet looked at him and said, "Haven't they allowed to them and forbid for them? They allow what is forbidden and forbid what is allowed?" He said, "Yes." He said, "This is worship." So in short, worship is obedience. Okay, to sum things up and wrap this episode, keep in mind the 4-year-old mentality. It will keep popping up many times in the future, inshallah. Keep in mind that religion is the way of living. Keep in mind that God is the thing that you obey the most, is the thing that you get your laws from, the thing that you put all your hope upon, the thing that you trust the most. Keep in your mind that worship is total obedience. As I said before, you don't have to adopt these definitions to define things this way. It's up to you to define it as whatever, however you want. But keep in mind, since we're discussing Islam, this is the meaning of these words in Islam. So in order to avoid any misunderstanding in the future. Hope that you found this episode informative and useful. Inshallah, next episode we will start discussing and answering your questions and discussing your comments. Hope to see you soon, This is Ziad Hamad signing out. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon. Salam.